Bitcoin. Time for my 2 cents worth. So ever since the beginning of the year, Bitcoin has gone up quite a bit. In fact, it's gone up 54%. So the question really is, how much more is it going to go up? If you're looking to buy, should you just buy now before it goes up even further? Or maybe like me, maybe start to sell off? I just want to point out, obviously, I'm not your personal financial advisor, and anything I'm doing isn't necessarily going to make you any money if you copy me. I just wanted to put out my little 2 cents worth so that you can get some varied ideas of what's going on rather than just reading the news. And there's been lots of news, very, very positive about crypto lately. Right here it says that Bitcoin market cap flips payments giant Visa for the third time. And what they're doing here is basically saying that Bitcoin and Visa are kind of comparable. Now, the obvious difference in this is that Bitcoin is a currency and Visa is a payment solution. So lots of banks will use Visa or MasterCard to process payments on Visa and debit cards, etc. in US dollars or in pounds or in euros or any other currency around the world. And they could possibly, maybe just like PayPal, also accept Bitcoin as one of those currencies that they'll deliver payments on. However, you can't really compare Bitcoin with a payments network. Maybe a better comparison would be Visa versus a mining node, or Visa versus something like BitPay or BTC Pay, something which is similar to Visa. Bitcoin, you could compare with the US dollar, the euro, or something, but then you'll find that the market cap is absolutely terrible. So they're not going to do that. Instead, they do this, which in my opinion is pretty much a load of BS. Following from that, we've got this one. Bitcoin continues to mirror 2017 as weekend sees third attack on 25K. So that does sound pretty impressive for Bitcoin because you're comparing it against the 2017 bull run. And down here, they show a chart which compares the last couple of bull run cycles and where we are right now. And they say that we're heading for a really big move because of this. However, this entire news article is again complete BS. So 2017 began round about here, January 2017, which was after the Bitcoin halving there in July 2016. So the absolute bottom of that cycle is actually over here in March 2015. Okay, and as we move forward from the second Bitcoin halving and then the last Bitcoin halving, which we just had in 2020, and then to where we are right now, which is kind of what I call the apathy period. So this is where you hit the bottom of the market, and we're going into the venture phase, which begins about 1 year prior to the Bitcoin halving, which isn't going to be until March 2024. So you see, to compare where we are right now and this little bull rally with something that happened in 2017, the cusp of the 2017 bull run is absolutely ridiculous because this was after the Bitcoin halving, and as we are right now, we're still over 1 year away from the next Bitcoin halving event. So news for me, by the way, is not what I would consider fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is more sort of statistics driven. That stuff is just speculative nonsense. Complete bullshit in this case, which I think is what is really powering this market. We're now going to look at the technical analysis side of things, where you'll see again a few little red flags popping up. Right now, we're looking at the daily chart for Bitcoin. So this was way back here in January, and you can see we're in a lovely upward trend. Down here, I have RSI, Relative Strength Index, and you can see that the absolute high on the Relative Strength Index was here, and then the price went up and the strength went down. It went down, it went down, and now we've gone all the way up here and still the price is going down. So what we have is a divergence here between the Relative Strength Index and the price, and the price has gone up quite a lot over that time. But of course, RSI is not the best at measuring divergence. What we want is the moving average convergence divergence, known as the MACD instead. Much better. And what we can see here, this is kind of like the king of divergence, okay? And what we can see is the first pump up saw it go absolutely sky high. Then we crossed over down here. It began going down before re-going back upwards again. And when it went up way higher than the previous highs. However, on the MACD, we're looking very, very weak. So I would suggest, based on this, that things are looking a little bit sketchy right now for Bitcoin. Also, looking down here at the fear and greed, you can see down here when it's in the red, that's the absolute fear when people are freaking out and getting out of the market. That's really obviously where you want to be buying. And when it comes up here into the blue, which is either the greed or the uber greed, that's when you know that it's time to sell, particularly again when you have divergence. So we've come up here, we've got the absolute top here on the fear and greed, and the fear and greed begins to go down as the price is going even higher. Again, even more divergence there on the fear and greed. And right now, if you're looking to buy, where do you want to buy? Do you want to buy down here when it's in the red or up here when it's in the blue? I think we're going to see a big lack of buyers. However, saying that, Bitcoin can be absolutely crazy at times, and this could be one of those times. So there is this. This here could potentially be a rising triangle, okay? This is where the top line that you see here is going to be nice and straight, and the bottom line will be rising upwards. And generally, if it does break through to the top side, which is normally about a sort of 70-80% chance it's going to break through, it will rise in line with the longest side of the triangle over here. So it should rise about this much, coming up to about 26,800 to 26,900. That could be the top if it does manage to break through. However, saying that, I think if it does break through, you're going to see the RSI and the MACD go even lower, and it will rebound and go down even more. So with that in mind, I don't think that this is that likely. Reason being that this top line here is actually based on just 2 points, 2 price points, which isn't really a trend, is it? It's just 2 points on a chart. So it's a possibility we may see that play out. However, it is just all speculative sort of technical analysis at this point. So what I've done myself is to put on OCO orders. I have sold off a little, and also sold off a little if it does break back up to about 25,000, and then put on some more to sell if it makes it up to sort of 26, whatever. I can't remember exactly what I put it on for, but I'm definitely looking to get out of the market right now rather than get in. I think we're in for a big downfall coming up pretty soon, and when that does happen, then is going to be the time to be buying Bitcoin, buying a lot of Bitcoin. So if you're looking for different ways for how you can actually buy some Bitcoin, then I did a video up here on some of the ways that I've used over the years and what I would actually recommend you do for buying Bitcoin. So you may want to watch that next.